Tom Lemons here at Eola Park in Orlando, and as you can see behind me, there are thousands of protesters that are now making their way through the park. At least 2,000 to 3,000 people there, so this is a huge response from the community here in Orlando, who are supporting the abortion rights, and they're opposing any legislation that may come this way in Florida. So we're going to stand back and take a look at this.
So we tell them, we are the people! We are the people! The mighty, mighty people! The mighty, mighty people! Mighty Florida! The mighty, mighty Florida! Fighting for access! Fighting for access! So we tell them.
Representative Askamati will be, she's here, she's organizing it, and she's taking these banners.
Can you tell me a little bit, I heard a little bit what you were saying to the other group, but you were saying that this is obviously a non-confrontational rally that you're putting together here.
Yes.
Now, you said that there's some people that have some skills that you were saying, just in case it gets a little rough out here.
Yeah,
tell me what you mean by that.
Well, I'm Representative Ayo Iken Report. I was just elected to Florida House in November. Before I served in the legislature, I worked at Planned Parenthood for 6 years. And so at Planned Parenthood, we're very familiar with the tactics of the opposition. Unfortunately, sometimes it can be quite harassing and quite intimidating. And we want to do our part to ensure that we kept the peace here. You know, everyone has free speech. They deserve the practice of the First Amendment, but we want to make sure that it's done in a safe way. So we do have volunteers that are trained to be non-engagement leaders, and so they're going to do their part to ensure that we keep peace here too.
Great, and you were saying that you were open to some conversation as this may reach your level in Tallahassee. So tell us a little about how far you might reach that compromise.
I'm proud to say that I've had so many conversations with those who oppose access to safe legal abortion. In particular, 2 folks who used to protest me at Planned Parenthood actually emailed my legislative office, and we set up a meeting in my office and had a 40-minute meeting about abortion access, about ways to reduce the rate of abortion. Unfortunately, for many of those who oppose access to a safe legal abortion, it's very black and white for them, so it's hard to find compromise. But I tell folks all the time that if you want to see a decline in the rate of abortion, focus on birth control access, focus on comprehensive sexual health education, focus on access to prenatal and postnatal care, and improving our adoption services. If you are actually looking to become a birth parent, the resources out there to navigate that are very limited. Majority of the resources online are for those looking to adopt, not those choosing adoption. And so we can do better as a state to make sure that those avenues are open as well.
So you're okay with some limitations, and I guess it obviously has become sort of a party line issue in some ways. Have you found that there's any support, that the support is bipartisan in any way with some of the things, some of your ideas, or do you feel that it's just no abortion?
So I think it's important to note that this past legislative session, when parental consent legislation was debated and voted on, 2 Republican women actually voted against the bill. So Republican women, overwhelmingly, once they see how extreme these attacks get, will actually put a line in the sand to say that you've gone too far. I support any type of regulation on abortion access that's based on medical standards and guidelines. What I do not support are politically motivated restrictions, which is what we've seen across the country and including in states like Florida.
So you wouldn't be for post-term abortion?
That's not a medical term. There's no such thing.
So after birth, infanticide.
Does not happen. That is illegal, and that is illegal in the country. And that type of rhetoric is inflammatory and accurate and really designed to continue to perpetuate what are myths around abortion access. And actually, 90% of abortion services are obtained in the first trimester. Those that go beyond the first trimester, it's often done to tragic circumstances where folks want to become parents. And it's important that we respect those decisions and ensure that we focus on prenatal care, on prevention, to even prevent the notion of that becoming a reality for someone.
So that's just, it's not going to happen here in Florida.
It's a complete rhetoric, what we hear from the opposition around bills that were passed in New York. It's just not true. It's a complete lie. And I think it's so important that we ground ourselves in the stories that directly impacted people, women who made the decision to have an abortion. And what we'll see today are stories shared by those who made the decision to end pregnancy.
The group behind me is preparing to march down the street here from Eola Park to City Hall to show their support for women's rights. All right. Somebody have a
We stand in defense of the unborn.
And we stand in defense of real people.
President Trump 2020 will make a difference.
Pro-life activists with the Orange County Republican Executive Committee are scheduled to meet here at Lake Eola Park this evening for a prayer vigil regarding the latest changes in abortion rights in several states across the country. I'm here with Todd Catello with the Orange County Republican Executive Committee, and he's holding a prayer vigil here with several other members of his group at the Lake Eola Bandshell. Todd, tell us what's going on tonight.
Well, we decided that with the pro-choice event that's going on tomorrow, there's going to be about 1,100 pro-choice activists that are going to be rallying tomorrow. And the values that that group has is not a Republican value. It's not a pro-life value. It's not the kind of value that the Christian faith as a whole has. And we wanted to counter that with tonight a prayer vigil. So tonight we're going to spend some time in prayer. We're sharing some stories right now.
Do you think there are going to be legislation that's going to be brought to to Tallahassee this year, similar to that that's been brought forward in Alabama, Georgia, Missouri?
Well, to be honest with you, the New York and West Virginia rulings, where New York said up to the time of the last second you can kill the child. West Virginia said, all right, lay the baby on the table, let the mother decide, and then we'll decide what we're going to do. Those two events alone has caused the heartbeat bills and the Alabama pro-life bill, which is designed to challenge and go all the way to the Supreme Court.
Is this something that your group would accept if there were legislation to maybe regulate the number of weeks before an abortion could be conducted?
That has been a part of the discussion for a long time in the past. And I think we're at a point now where we've got to go to a heartbeat bill.
Feel about that?
Well, I'm here today to defend and protect life, and also to support the president's agenda. I mean, Donald J. Trump is 100% pro-life, and the Republican Party is 100% pro-life. So we are here today defending the unborn, those that have rights that aren't listened to.
What do you think about issues as far as a compromise would go? I know that I've talked to some of the people on the opposition, and they believe that they may be open to some compromise as far as the number of weeks. Some completely not. But how do you feel about a compromise?
Well, I feel about this is life is life. Life is the most important thing. So if it's about life, I'm uncompromising. Now, I mean, I support the president's agenda, and the president speaks. I mean, I support what he says. So ultimately, at the end of the day, though, life is life, and I'm uncompromising on the issue of life. I stand on the side of life, and that's where I stand.
Do you think there's going to be some legislation entered this year in Tallahassee that may bring about some change to abortion in Florida?
Well, I certainly hope so, because number one, the Bilotti bypass, basically parental notification, didn't pass the Florida legislature. I think that it will pass in the upcoming sessions. Also, to the heartbeat bill, some version of it, I think will pass. I think, again, though, is that the Republican Party stands on the side of life, and the Democratic Party stands on the side of hypocritical defense of human rights. They're interested in defending those rights that are for their political agenda and their political agenda alone. Meanwhile, the Republican Party, we stand solid, we stand united, we stand firm on the side of human rights, period.
I'm also a former senator from Puerto Rico, member of the Orange County Republican Party, and I am very motivated to be here today to make a stand for those unborn babies that are defenseless. I mean, this is an infanticide. This is murder. This is no other word for this. It's very painful. It's very, very hurtful, and I'm sure that if God is looking, he's not happy with this whole thing.
So as a physician, I mean, you have to disagree completely with some of their the rhetoric that says that this is completely a women's health issue. Is that right?
Well, I would say almost 100% of the physicians that I know are on my side on this issue. I think those that have made medicine a business are the ones that you're going to get saying that kind of thing, because they make a lot of money from this. But everybody, most physicians, I would say every physician is for life. That this went on in the beginning, it was just going to be like a incest and rape. That's the way they mentioned it. And it has developed to the point now that they think it's justified to have a 9-month-old baby who has been viable for already for about 5 months, to have him come out and killed. I mean, and then they worry about other crimes and other issues. It's a sick society, and somebody has to stand up for those babies and to try to fix these things.
Although pro-choice activists vastly outnumbered pro-life supporters during Sunday's event, their message was no less powerful than those of the opposition, with states across the country considering similar laws to restrict or ban abortion. The debate over Roe v. Wade could be the dominating topic during the 2020 presidential election. Reporting from Orlando, I'm Tom Lemons.